Hey there, and welcome to this sit-down, relaxing type of ASMR video. It's going to be soft-spoken, even though, frankly, I don't like to do soft speaking. I don't think I'm good at it. It's too quiet, and I don't know, it's really weird to do. I prefer whispering every single time, but because of the way that the microphones are arranged, I kind of have to do it this way. Plus, just to minimize background noise because, well, I'm living out of a suitcase for now. Let's get into the video. This is one of those videos where I'm pretty much abusing my ability of making videos. It's like I have to do this anyways, and so why not make it more fun and film it as well, because I like to film. I had the most fun soundproofing this place. I made a blanket for it and put the bed up against the door and towels under everything. It was a blast and a half, and I don't even want to do this anymore. I just want to keep soundproofing. But, okay. I'm getting so sidetracked. That's recording, and we're good to go. Right here, I have my wetsuit for surfing, because if it wasn't obvious already, I'm a hardcore surfer, and by hardcore I mean really bad at it, but I do it every day. And I popped in my calf this morning, and it popped right out. And luckily, here they already have some sort of patch that prevents it from ripping all the way, but it could definitely keep going up my leg, and as soon as this was compromised, water was going into my legging and into the entire bodysuit, so it just no longer really works, even with a little tiny hole like this. So I went to Walmart, of course, and I got a few things. I got this. It's what I'm gonna keep, I think, for the rest of my life, and like hand down to grandchildren because it looks so cool. It's a little tiny sewing kit. It's got scissors and measuring, and just it's not called yarn, string, and needles and pins and everything. And I also got yarn because it's super cheap, and I think it'll work really well. Like, it's really strong, but also it's got like a sort of flexibility to it, so that should really help, since you don't want something too strong on here. You want it to be a little bit flexible, or else it's just gonna rip the rest of the suit. That's where this comes in. This is a stretchy kind of nylon elastic, which I'm going to use to patch. So I'm going to put it over top, and then zigzag pattern to just kind of fill the hole. And then lastly, I'm going to use this. I don't necessarily know exactly what it is. I'm hoping it's what I think it is. It hasn't really explained. It's just an adhesive. But I'm hoping it's gonna be like liquid rubber, because wetsuits, they use a type of liquid rubber on the seams to, I guess, prevent leaks and also to make it stronger. And so I'm just gonna replicate that. So let's not waste any time. I can put this to the side, this to the side, and we can open up our little kit. I'm mainly in love with these little guys. I mean, just look at that. Little tiny scissors. I'm hoping they actually cut, because I have nothing else to cut with. Oh my gosh. the new year. I had my father's pocket knife before leaving too. The one that his father gave him. And I completely forgot it. So I'm really gonna have to make do. I'm just gonna test. Okay, yeah. If you put the right amount of pressure in, this thing definitely works. So I'm proud of the $2 Walmart buy. In here we also have assorted string. This is for like little tiny repairs. I imagine if I was a lady and I had a purse, then I would just keep this in my purse at all times. And if I was on the bus or like train, that was my phone. I'm gonna throw it out. If I was on the bus or train, there you go. Then I would just like whip it out and start sewing or patching something just for fun. And then here I have the assorted needles, and there's also buttons in here, which I couldn't tell while it was inside its little container. But I'm gonna open it up without breaking it, of course. I really don't want to break it. I'm just gonna dump it all out, actually. It'll make finding the needle much easier because there's a decent amount of needles here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is the biggest one. I pretty much just need the biggest one if I want to fit the yarn through it. I'm not going to find the starting point, am I? Let's stick that needle in so I don't forget. Starting point. Oh, hello. I'm sure there's like, it's probably tucked away somewhere. If I was knowledgeable enough. Oh, I did it. I did it. Okay. Now to get it into the needle. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Because you can't just thread it through. Once you squish this fabric down, it comes really close to getting in. I forget how you're supposed to do it. I think I once saw somebody like press it down and rub it against their finger. And that worked, but yeah, I doubt that I'm going to be able to make the yarn work, which is unfortunate, because that's really what I wanted to use, right? Maybe I could use this. I think this has something to do with threading, so I'm going to try. I can vaguely imagine how I'm going to do this. So you take it, and then you push it through. No, that did nothing. How is this supposed to help you thread? Maybe if you like push it through the front and then pushed it like that. Nope. My brain should be able to understand it. Oh, I totally understand. Oh my gosh, that's genius. Thank you to whoever invented this. So first, I'm going to put it through the needle. Man, I feel so smart that I just discovered that. And now, I'm going to take this yarn. I'm actually going to zoom you in, because why the heck not? I'm going to take this. Oh, you can't even see it, and I can't focus from here. But if you can see what I'm doing, then you'll understand why I'm very excited. So, needle, or this went through the needle, and now this is here. So if I pull it, it should pull the yarn into the hole. Oh, I think I'm breaking it. It fell right off. Yeah, it seems like even with the right tool, that thick yarn just isn't gonna be able to fit through this needle. So I'm guessing that this video is going to involve a lot of editing. So unfortunately I can't use the yarn. That's alright. I'll just use the string that came with it. That was a very weird design feature. Okay. I think I'm just going to take it all off. Because there's not a lot of black thread here. Or is there? Alright, better cut it here then. If you make it too long, the rope likes to dance on you. That just makes it harder. I can't tell which one's bigger. I think it's this one. I used to have steady hands, but then Vietnam and such. Oh, I don't want that zoomed in anymore. Okay. And perfect framing. Just a fair warning, I've never seen anyone knit or sew. I've never watched a tutorial on how to sew. But since I was a kid, I don't know, I'd break something and I'd fix it. And so one day I probably ripped a shirt or something and I didn't want my mom to find out. That's a train. I'm not even going to edit it out. It wasn't too loud with all the soundproofing. So yeah, I probably ripped a shirt when I was a kid and didn't want my mom to find out. So I patched it up. But I don't know, I guess it might be cool to see me do this, because it'd be like watching an indigenous tribe that hasn't reached out to civilization. So everything you're saying is just what my brain thought would work, with no preconceived ideas or notions. So I take the string, put it all the way through, and then I just put a couple knots in the end here, cut the string just to make it a little bit cleaner, and then this ain't gonna go anywhere. And what I'm gonna do first is, just so it stays in place, I'm going to make some loops and knots to hold it all together, and then I'll put this over and sew that on top. So because of the way it's shaped, I can just pick it up like a folded burrito and just puncture. It's almost like a rubber. So that was kind of unpleasant sound-wise, but we'll see how it goes. There you go. And I just kind of put the string into the hoop that was made, and that's how I'm gonna do it the entire way through. I think that makes it stronger, You know, it just has like a knot at every single junction, so it has no reason to untie, you know. But maybe I'm just a silly fool, and I should probably watch a YouTube video and like discover a knot that completely cures all the struggles I've ever had with sewing. But then again, I only sew something like when the time comes, maybe once a year, out of necessity. Immediately when the swimsuit broke, I thought I'll just go buy a new one, but I was, I was already out on the water, so I had time to test it out, and it felt really good. Like this is the first wetsuit I've ever owned, and it fits so perfectly. I don't think I'll ever find a suit that fits as well as this one. And I don't know, it just kind of feels dumb to throw this out because it had one little hole in the leg. I just have to be more delicate from now on when I'm taking it or putting it on and taking it off. I just don't want to waste it. And it works so well. Like no water ever goes in, which is all you really need from a wetsuit. I am, however, the only reason I thought about it right away is because I'm a pretty light-boned guy, and so I get cold really, really fast. So you can imagine when you get into, I think it's 64-degree water. I think that's what it is right now. It's 17 degrees Celsius. I think that's 64 Fahrenheit. Then I get cold so fast. This is a spring suit. It's a very thin one. And yeah, I get cold so quickly. And some people, they get hangry. I don't know what the term for it is. I won't think of anything clever right now. But I become a different person when I'm cold. And I'm also not the type of person to put on a sweater. Like, oh, I'm cold, I'll put on a sweater. No, I'll just get mad until the weather changes. So, I thought about getting a thicker suit, but I made it through winter surfing here, and the water's only going to get warmer now. So, might as well make this one work as long as I can. And then maybe next year I'll pick up a new suit. I was surprised how cheap it was, though. It was, if I remember correctly, 113 American dollars. Canadian dollars aren't real, by the way, so everything's just American dollars now. Yeah, I was just surprised. I thought it would be a lot more expensive. And I mean, like for what you get, it's super good. Like, you could buy a shirt for $100 if you wanted to. And that's just a regular old shirt. I think it got caught somewhere. And if I pull too hard, I'm just gonna rip the thread. So I think I just have to accept it. Yeah. So there's this little extra loop here. I'll just put it in through here. And yeah, it's not gonna tighten up. See, I like sewing. It's almost like meditation. It really gives your mind a chance to kind of just float away. I forgot what I was talking about a moment ago. That's how relaxing it is. If you can't sleep, like you're lying in your bed and you can't go to sleep, a lot of sleep scientists recommend to get up and do something, because what they say is that your brain has associated your bed with sleeplessness. And so if you get up and do something and then go back to bed, then you have a much higher chance of falling asleep, because you're telling your body and your brain, like, okay, I'm done. I'm in my bed. It's sleep time. So I wonder, if you can't sleep, what if you just got up, started sewing for like 10-15 minutes, and then went back to bed? Would you fall asleep faster? I don't know. I'll be honest though, that's a concept I keep hearing about, but I've never tried, because like, even if I can't sleep and I have to get up early in the morning, I'm not getting out of bed. It's counterintuitive. I'm comfortable, I'm cozy, I can't sleep, but I'm not gonna get out of bed. I'm trying to go to sleep. But I guess the scientists probably know better, and they say you should probably just get up, move around, and then go back to bed. I'm just a city fool. Man, I would pay a lot of money to record this video back home, with no background noise. I could crank up the microphones to 1 billion, and you could hear the sounds of the stitching and everything. This isn't a video I would typically make, but just like, I gotta sew it. I'm being a little bit selfish, and I wanna turn it into a video. And yeah, that's just sometimes how it be. So if you're a long-time viewer on my channel, you probably know I don't make any videos that have background noise in it, because I don't typically fall asleep to things with background noise. But I know there's a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, who like lo-fi, and like if there's air conditioning in the background, like people die for that. So here's me branching out to like the few people that want it. Okay, so that's good. Not my cleanest work ever. I'm just gonna cut the needle off. I'm noticing this isn't in the middle, and it's probably making me talk completely to one side. And it only took me 26 minutes to course correct. Ding, 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 that's a new record. You silly fool. What have you done? What have you done? Ooh, and I like to do this one thing to finish off the stitch and tie it down, to basically prevent it from unraveling. I stitch one of the strings through one more time, and then I knot it, because now when I'm putting a knot on it, I'm not just forming on the, I'm not giving it a chance to go back through the hole that the needle put it through. It would need to rip through the fabric or break or compromise the knot for it to untie, basically. So just a little extra step, but it probably makes it 7 times stronger. Okay, so is it the best? No. Once you flip it around, it looks pretty dang good, and it works even better. So now for the hard part. I'm going to take this and cut it to size. Let's see how much of it we need. I want to overlap it just a little bit. So like over here. That's funny. Okay. I'm realizing now that I'm going to have like 70 gigabytes of footage for this video. Or I'm realizing now, I guess I don't really have to show you everything. I mean, as long as it was relaxing and indeed a video, then that's probably good, right? Like, there's no need to make this a 10-minute video or like a 2-hour video. And it's been pretty quiet. And now it's getting louder, so I'm probably gonna have to cut this part anyway. So I'm sorry that it wasn't a complete video, like one of my repairing videos. I'll probably just at the end of this video I'll like share a picture of what it looks like after. But I'm just gonna sew this onto here and then use that adhesive on the other side to seal it tight so no water goes through. And then that's pretty much it. And there's a train again. Yeah, see, so it sounds like the neighbors came home. So, thank you very much for joining me. I'm gonna finish the rest of this. I hope you get a good night's rest. Take it easy, and I'll see you next time.